Every day, there's always news about IKN. Indonesia is moving its capital city from Jakarta to IKN in East Kalimantan. I think a lot of people like this idea. Jakarta is too crowded and there are too many problems in the city. Instead of solving the problems like flooding, sinking, and pollution, it seems they think it's better to run away from these problems. Personally, I also like the idea of moving the capital city. However, I'm not a big fan of building a whole new city from the ground up. If they were going to move it to an existing city in Kalimantan, I think it would be a better idea. But what I want to talk about in this video is the funding. Do people actually know where the funds to build the city are coming from? According to the official website of IKN, they will need about 466 trillion rupiahs to build the city. That's the plan, even though government projects are usually over budget. And that is a lot of money. Do you know how much of these funds come from state budget? Only 89.4 trillion rupiahs, or about 19%. An additional 123.2 trillion rupiahs will come from state-owned enterprises and regional-owned enterprises, which is about 26%. And do you know where the rest or the majority of the money will come from? 54% or 253.4 trillion rupiahs will come from public-private partnerships and the private sector. Whenever I hear data like that, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what do they say to investors, right? What do they propose to private investors to get that much money? I mean, private money expects profits, right? But IKN is not a company, it's a city. So I don't know how they're gonna make money for these investors. I don't know what kind of deals they have offered or will offer to the investors. Nobody even knows for sure whether people will want to live and work in the city. It's literally in the middle of the jungle, right? Will they offer land to companies so they can build their offices there? Will they sell some land to foreigners? Remember, 54% of the funds come from public-private partnerships and the private sector. And there's a lot more private money involved, because when you talk about state-owned enterprises, they're not wholly owned by the government, right? A lot of private money is in the state-owned enterprises. So the point is, the majority of the money to build the city will come from private investors. There's the issue. What did they promise, or what will they promise private investors so they're gonna invest their money in this project, right? It's not a company, it's a city. My fear is that the city will prioritize investors' interests over public's interests. But what do I know? It's just my cheap analysis.